get to it. Let me turn down the music. I'll pause it real quick. Not the big patch. So Amumu, this is okay. Like, they changed this passive to, because his passive used to be, there was a time where he became super oppressive as a full AP, full AP, full AP Amumu, right? Where he would auto attack people, then curse bandage toss, curse of the mummy, lock them down for like 4 or 5 seconds. It's also the last time I saw a Mumu played like the last time I played the Mumu was together with Fiddlesticks when Fiddlesticks' passive was an aura that reduced magic resist. So it was like a really big wombo combo, right? Anyways, so Curse Touch, Amumu's basic attacks cost 15% of all magic damage dealt to be the target to be dealt again as true damage. So this only applies to his W and his R, because if you have an Amumu walking up to you and landing an auto attack onto you before using bandage toss, you probably have bigger problems than, playing a game with an Amumu. So his bandage toss won't really get much out of his new passive, but 15% all magic, it's okay. Like, I can see him seeing some play in competitive. I have a competitive here in the Philippines. Okay, like, let's get that clear, because like the Philippines has a tendency to play like very not off meta picks. We have this one professional team that has a tendency to play a lot of off meta picks and like Nami mid, Galio mid. So we might see Amumu jungle, Amumu mid lane. Well, I don't know what they'll do with it, but it's really good with double AP compositions, and with how strong the AP supports are, I think that team will actually give Amumu a try. But in the international scene, I don't think Amumu's gonna see some play, because he's not exactly the best jungler right now, and we can touch on that. A little bit further down the patch notes, but that he's better than a lot of other junglers. Like, this change makes him better than, off the top of my head, he's better than Sejuani. He's way better than Sejuani. He might be as good as Zac, and not in the terms of like the amount of CC he brings, but with the amount of damage that he can apply. He's really good with it. But the problem with the Mumu is that he loses 1v1, and right now we have a meta where junglers are really strong 1v1. We have Rengar, we have Kha'Zix, we have Elise, we have Lee Sin, we have Graves. These 5 champions are really strong in their 1v1s, and usually they'll probably just destroy an Amumu if they catch him with his pants down in his jungle. So this Alistar change, remember I was talking to you guys earlier about how I face Alistar top. So the reason why Alistar top is more viable now than ever is because his trample has more damage. It has a shorter cooldown. But aside from that, Alistar is still gonna stay a support. His Triumphant Roar is pretty good because it's an AoE heal now, so at least Wind Speaker's Blessing is better on him. Like, long gone are the days where Triumphant Roar would work with Ardent Censer. Like, maybe this might be the time where we might see Alistar with Ardent Censer again. Remember those days where his heal was on his E, and then people would rush Ardent Censer just to give crazy amount of utility in team fights? We might see it again. It's not going to be as abusive as before because it's a passive, and it's his passive, and he has to activate it. He has to proc it to actually make it work, and he has to make sure that he's in range for all his allies. So, and aside from that, it's a lot of the bot lane supports right now, their range, so they actually will be able to wither Alistar down. So this change doesn't change laning phase at all, because this heals, because you only have one ally in your lane. So it still doesn't remedy his problem of having a really bad laning phase. He can survive the laning phase. One of the things, one of the easiest ways to counterplay Alistar is to chunk him early level 1. And this doesn't fix that problem, and he's still gonna get chunked level 1. He's gonna be too low to initiate at level 2 and just get destroyed until level 6. And then even until level 6, I doubt you'd have the initiative to be able to set up tower dives just because you keep getting withered down by the AP supports of this current meta. This bard change is pretty nice. I appreciate the bard change because you might see some more play. Like, I think Afro Moose gonna love this change. They get more damage every time you get more chimes. The tiers restructured, things like that. Overall, it just makes him stronger. In competitive, I can't really say because we haven't seen that much Bard play in competitive because he's so high risk, high reward. Like the last time I saw a competitive Bard being played, at least in my experience, is we actually ran Bard in Korea last November, and even then it was really high risk, high reward, and that's why a lot of supports that's why you don't see Thresh a lot in in the highest levels of play, because you get, if the risk and the reward isn't worth it. So if you miss your hook, you lose. If you miss your Q on Bard, you guys are gonna lose bot lane as well. But for solo queue, it's gonna be really fun because you're going to be able to solo carry your bad AD carries more. Let's go over the changes. So like, restructured, hold a maximum of 9 meeps. I don't think this 9 meeps is practically Riot saying that Bard can have infinite amount of meeps, because I'm sure by the time you're at your 9th meep already, you've already had a few respawn already. So you probably have, like, they say maximum of 9, but that's probably like 12 to 15. Like, we can crunch some numbers about it, but like, it's just a rough estimate. Tiers from 150 chimes to 105 onwards grant no effects aside from damage. So plus 1 meep deals damage in a cone. So you power spike really early. Like, at 5 chimes you have a slow, and then you have 2 meeps already, and then you get the cone at 15. Like, this is crazy good. Crazy good, because that's 10 chime discount. What else is notable here? There's no increase on cone. There's only one increase on cone. Okay, so the cone is 30 chimes earlier as well. Aside from this, is mostly damage and increasing amount of meep. So you'll be more oppressive. I guess they're trying to move Bard away from just being a Q machine to a very Q reliant AP support, to also becoming a support that kind of hurts just by poking you down with meeps. So Camille, yeah, this was what we were talking about earlier. So tactical sweep, non-champion heal. Camille no longer heals for up to 10% of her maximum health when tactical sweeps outer half damages minions or monsters. How bad is that? It's pretty good. It's a pretty good change for Camille. Like, as a Camille player, I feel kind of sad because this change kind of lessens her poke. It lessens her poke, and it kind of incentivizes her to use her W smart. And if you, in a smart way, and if you can dodge her tactical sweep, that's really good for you. But overall, she's still a really strong laner. Like, even without tactical sweep, she can still take these like really crazy trades and still win because her shield is really big, and you usually can't. You usually don't have. And then you have. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. You can't sorry, I really lost my thought here. Let me just. So Camille no longer heals up for 10%. So you can still take those crazy trades, but she's gonna have less sustain. So she'll have to play around her shield timers a bit more than just taking really aggressive trades. Hextech ultimatum change, it doesn't really matter. Like the previous change to Camille, it reduced her damage, right? But the thing is, Camille is a champion where solo kills, especially in competitive, are never supposed to happen. Usually, if solo kills happen, there's something went horribly wrong. And this 1.5 second change doesn't really mean that much, because the 2.5 seconds is enough for the jungler to burst you down. It's not really a big change. Late game, still the same. 3.25, it's still okay. Like, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah. So she's not going to be permaban status already, probably, because the thing about Camille is she can take these crazy trades where she has shield, and then after that, she still takes minion damage, still keeps trading with you, peels back off, and then uses her tactical sweep to regenerate all of the damage that the minions dish out on her. But without this, she's going to have to be more careful. But that still doesn't make her exactly useless. She's less oppressive. Yeah, Mike was right there, but overall, I think she'd still be top tier, top laner. So if you want to climb, she's pretty good with climbing for solo queue and for competitive as well. So Galio, passive damage down, Q missile ratio up, tornado zone down. I'm happy that they nerfed the Q. The thing about the Q is, like, it dealt way too much damage. I felt like it dealt way too much damage. The passive is okay. He probably won't be as strong as Nautilus because of this, because he doesn't have as much damage output anymore as Nautilus. So hooray for Nautilus players. Like, Gragas is also more oppressive than Galio. What Galio does best is using his ultimate to actually help teammates across the map, so it makes him roam a little bit better. That was in regard to top lane. For jungle, Galio, his clear time's gonna hurt. His clear time's gonna be slower, and that might just give the other junglers an opportunity to counter jungle him, because he already doesn't have the best initial clear, and then with this change it makes it slower. So that gives a lot of leeway for the top 5 junglers. Hey Ram, what's up? So Graves, True Grit no longer grants magic resist. Irrelevant. He's still strong. Like, that's 120 magic resist at max stacks. That's 40 to 120 magic resist at max stacks. What I can see with this change is you might see Graves in Korean solo queue start building more often, like more Black Cleaver into Warrior Enchant for 40% CBR. But aside from that, like, I'd be surprised if, like, they don't build more on Graves already. But, like, this is more incentive for them to build more magic resist on Graves. It's more punishing now because right now we usually run with how strong Rumble is. Double AP comps are pretty common, but Graves is still super strong, super oppressive jungler. So Graves is still top tier. Galio probably knock him a pinch down, maybe A plus to S minus. Camille is S. Bard is probably A plus. Alistar is somewhere along A or A minus. Amumu's probably from B. He's probably a B plus or a A minus now. Knight's Edge is also an option. Like, maybe it's time for Graves to start building Knight's Edge and then more, because to get to get more efficiency out of that Mortis shield. So Graves is still strong. Like, doesn't change much, and probably it's gonna affect like 1% of players who get clipped by like by AP abilities, but this might cause like a rise in amount of average deaths for Graves this patch, but aside from that, he's still gonna be super strong. Jarvan likes to start fight, continue fights, finish fights, diving deep into the enemy team and staying there until the fight ends. For a champion with such an in your face play style, Jarvan feels surprisingly awkward to build tanky on. We want to make building for durability feel a bit better for the exemplar of the Masha, so we're giving his Golden Aegis shield scaling that deals more in line with the fantasy of the giant dude who plants a giant flag. Well, these changes aren't much. Base shield increase doesn't matter. Like this base shield, it's his Golden Aegis is you always leave it level 1. You always leave it level 1 because you have to max your Q and your E to get your QE combo up. So this is at level 4. At level 4 it's stronger, right? And then level 13 or level 12, level 13, level 4, 14, no, level 4, level 13, yeah, level 13, level 15, level 17, and level 18. So technically we should only be looking at the 2 to 2.5% for early game, like 2 to 2.5% early game, and then it's gonna transition to 4%. So it's an okay change, like 2% max health per enemy champion hit. Well, you obviously have to hit the champions, and assuming that you have like at level 4 you have 800 HP, 2% is 16 HP per champion hit. So it actually isn't good. Like you need 1000 HP. You need 1000 HP for it to be equivalent to what it was back then. So at level 4, you need to have 1000 HP for it to become the same as the bonus shield. And you can only get it's only super effective only in like full on 5v5 team fights where you can get a really good engage and get everyone up with Golden Aegis. But the thing is, the question here is, what keystone do you actually run with Jarvan, okay? So if you run him with Courage of the Colossus, then your flag combo is already going to give you a shield, and then you're going to use your Golden Aegis, so you're going to have to go through your Courage of the Colossus shield and your Golden Aegis, so it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get the maximum amount of value from this. And playing Jarvan in the jungle just isn't smart because, again, the top 5 junglers are really good at 1v1ing. You miss your flag combo, you lose the duel already. And aside from that, he's not exactly the best duelist in the jungle. So Jinx change, this is irrelevant. Like, I don't know why this changes here. Like, 6 seconds isn't that big a change. Like, it's pretty notable only on these levels. And remember how when you play Jinx, you don't max this ability first. This is the last ability that you max on Jinx. So level 4, level 11, level 12, level 12, level 15, 17, 18. Doesn't really make much of a difference. Kassadin changes. W attack fixed to no longer cancel against targets that leave its range. E cooldown reduced, R ratio increased. So buff fix. Nether Blade's empowered attack is no longer cancelled if its targets leaves range during its wind up. So what this means is if your enemy flashes, you still get the Nether Blade on him. So that's very Zed Living Shadow away, Ari ultimate, like a lot of mobility abilities. It just makes it better, but overall it's an okay change. It's a quality of life change. It's not a buff per se. It's just a quality of life change. It just makes it smoother for Kassadin. Force Pulse E change. Okay, sure, we'll take what we can get. Like if we really want Kassadin to be strong, Then they're bring back his riff walk range, because that's one of the things that's really hard for him, is that his riff walk is, like a mini flash. So this is an okay change to his ratio, but it doesn't establish much. Like, assuming you get 20 for you have to 100 AP, so you get bonus 10 damage minus reduction. Let's say 30%, you get bonus 3 damage. 3 damage from that. Riff walk. This is just for every 100. Let's just say that for every 100 AP, you just get 3 more damage. That's practically it. Riff walk. So not exactly something you'd want. Like 3 damage is very, very useless. Like, this force pulse change is way better than this riff walk change. Like, what they could have done was either increase its range or increase the amount of flat damage it has, because 0.3 ability power isn't really that big. Like, champions now average like 400 to 500 AP, and that's 30 more damage. Wait, yeah, 30 more damage. Sorry, 30 more damage. Not really that big. Is that the upcoming patch? Yeah, it is. 30 damage. 30 damage more. Sorry, but still. Yeah, it's 0.3, so it's 30 damage. So again, assuming that you have 100 AP, from 20 damage to 30 damage, you get let's run the math real quick. 100 AP, so you get 20 damage, 20 damage back then at 20%. At 0.2, so you get 100 AP, 20 damage at 0.3 at 30. Okay, yeah, it's 3 damage. I was right, because you only get plus 10. This is your net change. You only get plus 10 damage. So plus 10 damage. Plus 10 damage, that's net. That's your net damage, right? That's the plus 10 bonus. For every 100 AP that you have, you get 10 damage. But factoring, let's assume it's 25% magic resistance, you only get 7.5 bonus damage. Assuming it's 30%, you get 7. You get 7, not 7.5. So it's just a 7. So per every 100 AP, it just gives you 7 bonus damage, 7 to 7.5. So why am I saying that this is not as significant as the force pulse change? It's because force pulse, you can get it off. You can get off 2 to 3 you can get 1 to 2 more force pulses off in team fights, just because of this 1 second, as compared to this riff walk change. Like, it's just 10 bonus damage for every 100 AP. Like, assuming level 6, you won't even have 100 AP, so it's gonna be less. Like, increasing the base damage would have been better than giving him this, because if you have if your Cassidy reaches 400 to 500 AP, he'll just be getting bonus of 50 damage. With 30% reduction, that's 35 bonus damage. It's not that big, and usually at that point, 35 damage is really, really ignorable already. So yeah, if you get triple Infernal Drake, then that's another story. But if you get triple Infernal Drake, flat damage would have still been better. Okay, so for Katarina, Shunpo changes doesn't really hurt her that much. Like, I feel like it's more punishing. Like, if you slip up using your Shunpo, then you're gonna have a bad time. So it's gonna make the learning curve for Katarina harder. But the better you are at Katarina, I'm sure you'll be able to play around this. Like, 4 seconds, it's still your cooldowns are still reduced when you pick up a dagger, right? So it just adds like 1.5, maybe 0.5 seconds more cooldown. So you just have to play around the bonus, the this penalized version of Shunpo. Okay, so just 0.5 to 1 second more. So you're if you can probably just work around it as Katarina. Lux refund. So I do not understand why this actually happened. Okay, like I don't understand why this Lux change happened. But okay, if Final Spark kills an enemy champion, 10%, 30%, 50% of remaining cooldown is refunded. So let's crunch some numbers. Let's get Lux on here. Okay, so Lux has her ultimate is 50 seconds, right? 50 seconds. 50 multiplied by 45.45 equals 50.45. So that's 22.5 second cooldown. Am I right? Oh no. It's supposed to be 55 because it's reduced. 55. So it's 27.5. 27.5 with its cooldown being reduced by 50%. This is assuming we're already level 60, okay? We're already level 16, okay? So it's reduced by half, so it becomes 13.75 cooldown. That's pretty crazy. Like imagine getting 2 final sparks off in one fight. That's crazy. Do you see the math right now? Like right now it's way better to get intelligence over precision for Lux, just because this 5% is a really big deal. So let's for argument's sake assume that you get precision, okay? So 15. Your cooldown on your ult is seconds. 50 times 0.60. This is 0.55 equals 30. Okay? So take a look at the numbers. Like it's not that big a change, but again, this is still I would still prefer getting intelligence over precision in 7.7. Like we might see some Lux competitive play as well, because Lux has been an okay mid laner. Like she doesn't have crazy outplay, but her burst is crazy and her range is crazy. The only thing she lacks is a mobility skill. She has some survivability with her prismatic barrier, but aside from that, she's actually an okay mid laner. So late game, you get a kill using your final spark. It becomes 13.75 seconds. So it becomes like a secondary Q or E, and that's gonna be crazy for Lux. I kinda like how Lux can actually control Dragon and Baron pretty well. So I have a feeling Lux is gonna see some play. Don't save. Okay. Nunu changes. So who's excited for some Nunu changes? Passive causes Nunu's next ability to cast at one rank higher than Nunu has leveled it. Base health and HP and health regen down. There's not much room to make interesting decisions again around the free spell cast. Just use it on the most expensive spell. Bam, decision made. We're updating Visionary to offer Nunu a real choice which ability he wants Supercast to fight at hand. Reduce HP, okay. Reduce HP regen, okay, whatever. Like jungling is already hard as a Nunu, because Nunu back then could clear jungle camps really easily, but now with Krugs and with Raptors, it's going to be really hard for Nunu to clear the jungle. Like if he does Raptors, he's gonna get cocked really hard. So anyways, plus 160 damage and 50 healing for his consume. Oh, it's okay, I guess. It's a stronger smite. Like, not a lot of people will touch on this, but this is a stronger smite. Like, imagine his smite is weaker than his consume. His consume is stronger than a Cho'Gath as well. Like 1,142 damage to a minion. So he's gonna have an easy time securing jungle creeps. 1% movement speed, 5% attack speed. This is garbage. Like, it's not worth it. Don't get blood boil. 40 damage and 5% movement speed slow. 280 damage and 65%. It's garbage as well. 250 max damage is like the only change that's actually good here is consume. Consume's better. Absolute zero if you wanna run rise Nunu cheese Nunu bomb. But Nunu, one of the reasons why Nunu hasn't seen play is because he doesn't have a good keystone. He doesn't have a good keystone to run Nunu with. Like, what keystone would you run with him? Probably Bond of Stone, maybe Courage of the Colossus, but Bond of Stone seems to be the optimal one because he has a ton of slows. And even with that, it's just so awkward. He's gonna have a hard time jungling. He's gonna have a hard, like, he can't even counter jungle just because of how the jungle is already. Like, what can he counter jungle? He can counter jungle wolves. He can counter jungle red, blue, Gromp. Like, if he counter jungles raptors, he's gonna die. He's at risk of dying to the enemy mid laner and the jungler. If he does Krugs, he stays there for too long and loses a ton of map pressure. Like, Ivern could probably do his job better than this. Because Ivern can actually clear faster than Nunu. Like, regardless of whatever changes happens to the camps, Ivern is pretty good. Rengar changes 35, 55, 75, 95 up to 115 to 25 to 105. Doesn't matter. You lose out 10 damage early. 10 damage, then... No, you lose out 20, 40, how much is this? 20, still 20. Yeah, it's just basically you lose out 20 damage. 20 damage and the ratio got reduced. But if it's an empowered savagery, then yeah, so they'll still have a ton of damage. Can I send the link to what? Rumble change. This is bad. It's good for balance purposes, but it's bad for me because I like Rumble. I've been trying to learn Rumble for the past few months. Recharge time from 5 seconds to 6 seconds, so it might probably mess up some of his timings, and I guess top laners have to get used to that again. But overall, this is a really good. This is a really good nerf. This is a nerf that's gonna hit Rumble a little bit. Might make him drop. Oh, you want the patch notes? Okay. You know, a trick that you can do to look for patch notes is that you just go to Google, type 7.7 or whatever patch is up next, like 7.7, 7.7, and then yeah. Passive attack scaling down, Q, that base damage remove, cooldown increase, Q, AP ratio move to passive. So Shaco's main update brought him to the fore as one of the most prominent junglers in solo queue with some cameos and pro play to boot. He's currently dealing a frustrating amount of damage in the instant he comes out of invisibility, considering most of it is impossible to avoid, especially from you, AD Shaco. We're bringing his surprise burst back down to more reasonable levels. He's not that hard to play around. Like, usually, like, there are some people, even in Masher and solo queue here in the Philippines, where they actually like playing Shaco. But the thing about Shaco is if your enemy is competent, then they obviously would know how to counterplay against Shaco. And surprise, surprise, the best way to counter Shaco is to actually ward. Go figure. Like it. If you die to Shaco, it's probably because he pulled off like a crazy amazing flank that you would never expect, or you just didn't ward. You didn't ward. You didn't track him in the jungle. Like the thing about Shaco is he can't do a lot of camps. Like, remember how we were talking about Nunu and how Nunu gets destroyed by Raptors? It's the exact same thing, but Nunu has a heal with his consume. Shaco has his boxes. What are the exact jungle camps like countering Eve? Yeah, that also works. But the thing is, if you can do that, if you're in the position to do that, but assuming that you're not, like the moment you should just ward one of your side brushes and stick to wherever is your stronger side, and then you won't have that big a problem. Like, a lot of people still don't know how to play around Shaco, and that's what's frustrating. Because Shaco is super strong right now, but with these changes, he's going to be put into a box. You're going to be put into a box where his Q is absolute garbage already. Like, give me a sec. I'll check the numbers out. I just had to clean my glasses. So backstab 0.4 AP, 1.3 total AD. Okay. Base damage no longer has bonus base damage, so he can't burst you for a ton of damage now. Like, it's going to be interesting what kind of builds we're going to see now, because his cooldown 2 seconds is okay, I guess. Like, it doesn't change much in the early phases of the game. 16 seconds isn't that big a change. No longer has a 0.4. Yeah, they moved it to the passive. Like, the base damage is what's really scary. The base damage is what's really scary. Like, the 80 base damage, and then you can build AD or AP and it wouldn't matter. Unleash Power's cooldown is no longer reset if the first cast was interrupted. The interrupted cast dealt no damage but still spawned 3 spheres. If Syndra's target dies mid-cast, remaining nearby dark spheres will continue to pummel their corpse. If Syndra's target becomes untargetable during the Unleash Power, dark spheres that were in flight now drop in place rather than disappearing entirely. Quality of life. All quality of life changes. Talent changes. This makes his early game weaker, but the one thing that Talon has over Zed is that he's not ultra reliant. Like, he's super oppressive in lane. If you can't match how strong he is in laning phase, you can just snowball off of you. That's why picking him top lane is super strong, because a lot of top laners can't contest his level 2 burst. This tones it down by 20 damage. It's kind of okay. Like, I can still see Talon seeing some play in top lane and in mid lane. Volibear, I don't know. I don't even know how Volibear works, but whatever. Like, who even plays Volibear? It's pretty cool. The Karma doesn't look like an anime character anymore because of these changes. Raptors more HP, less damage. This is good, but this is geared towards Raptor starts, because as all of you may know, I've been an advocate of Raptor starts because you're able to hide your jungler pretty well. This makes it more punishing for junglers because they have to deal 50 more damage to 5 Raptors, but overall damage is low, so it just wastes like 2 to 3 seconds of their time on Raptors. I don't know if this change actually increases the amount of DPS that they can dish out because they survive 1 extra auto attack. But we'll have to figure it out. Like, this is super bad for blue side because blue side, your top laner can't leash, and what happens is your support and your AD carry have to leash and they'll be late to lane, or or your support will leash and he'll be late to in. But for red side, it's going to be pretty decent because usually what happens is top laners and mid laners always help leash the Raptors. So good for red. It's pretty good for red side, pretty bad for blue side. Lifesteal interactions. Just a public service announcement. Like, you guys should know these things because this can be the difference between life and death. Magic Shield UI. Rotating game modes, leave client update, highlights. Boy, oh boy. Improve match history. Close client during game toggle. Okay, highlights, update, bug fixes, blah 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 blah. Godfist, Lee Sin, Dread Nova, Darius. So that's pretty much it for the patch rundown.
Everything changes.